Sharon Osborne, Sedona City Manager, and I'd love to give you some updates on all of our accomplishments and work program in 2022. City Council holds its policy agenda setting meeting in the beginning of each year to determine which projects and initiatives are the top priorities for staff to pursue over the next planning period, typically 12 to 18 months. This work is in addition to our normal programs, projects, and day-to-day delivery of services. With 2022 in the rearview mirror, let's recap what we accomplished last year and where those initiatives and other major projects stand. Traffic is still a very high priority for the City Council, and we are now almost halfway through the 10-year Sedona in Motion Transportation Initiative. In 2022, the city accomplished the following. Over 2 miles of shared use pathways were completed or are currently under construction, including paths on Shelby Drive, Chapel Road, and Dry Creek Road to Navoti. Phase 2 of the Dry Creek shared use path from the two-fence trailhead down to the intersection of Thunder Mountain Road is also currently under design, and we started public outreach for a new shared use path in the Andante neighborhood. Regarding roadway projects, we broke ground on the Forest Road Extension project, which will be completed in spring of 2024, and the right-hand turn lane on Amara Lane, which will be completed later in 2023. The city is also in the early design phase of modifications to northbound 89A traffic at the Forest Road intersection. We are still moving forward with the pedestrian crossing at Oak Creek, but are revisiting the design specifications in hopes of reducing the costs, as the initial construction bid was considerably higher than expected. Last, the Uptown Parking Garage project is on hold until the city can conduct an updated needs assessment. Decisions about the future of that project will be made once that reevaluation is complete later this year. In 2022, the city successfully launched the Trailhead Shuttle portion of the Sedona shuttle system, which included purchasing buses, contracting services to operate the system, and standing up 2 park and ride locations and breaking ground on a 3rd. In the first 9 months of operation, the shuttle logged an impressive 200,000 plus passenger boardings. This not only alleviated parking concerns in nearby neighborhoods, but also took vehicles off our roads that would otherwise be circulating, looking for parking at and around trailheads. Watch for our microtransit system, an on-demand curb-to-curb service to launch later in 2023. We also continue to invest resources into staffing traffic control assistants and community service aides at trailheads during busy times of the year, extended the boulders on Dry Creek Road all the way to city limits to restrict on-street parking there, and are actively working with the counties and Forest Service on further restricting on-street parking in this area and some of the other busiest trailheads just outside of our jurisdiction. Next, the city updated the Emergency Operations Plan, created the Community Emergency Preparedness Guide, started a Threat and Hazard Identification Risk Assessment, and kicked off a citywide evacuation modeling project that will be completed in 2023. In the beginning of 2022, the city committed local funds to bring broadband to Sedona as part of the Yavapai County Final Mile Broadband Initiative. But much to our disappointment, the sole bidder for Sedona pulled out of that project. However, the city is still committed to finding ways to improve broadband access, and we have recently entered into a contract with a broadband specialist to develop options for doing just that in 2023. Additionally, last year we hosted 2 Fuerza Local cohorts, an accelerator course that gives personalized training to assist Spanish-speaking businesses, and we convened a citizen work group to inform the city on potential recommendations for improving the quality and access of local health care. This past year, we continue to prioritize sustainability with programs like the Home Energy Retrofit Program, in which over $71,000 has been allocated for 20 households who have made their homes more energy efficient, the Northern Arizona Solar Co-op that resulted in 57 regional households contracting for residential solar, the 4th annual Home Hazardous Waste event, and the Food Compost Pilot Program, in which all 50 slots were filled. The city also joined the Green Power Partner Program through APS to begin sourcing 100% of municipal energy from a renewable energy farm and installed 8 electric charging stations at Sunset and Posse Grounds parks. The 4 chargers at Posse Grounds are up and running, and the 4 at Sunset Park will be operational in just a few weeks. Workforce housing continued to be a top priority, and in 2022, we launched Rent Local, which pays homeowners up to $10,000 a year to convert their short-term rental into a long-term rental. Additionally, the city funded the first loans for the Down Payment Assistance Program. Housing staff have also been working with nonprofit and private developers to bring more workforce housing to the area, and as a result, we hope to have several exciting projects to announce in 2023. Last, the city acquired the property at 2250 Shelby Drive with the intention of developing workforce housing on that site. Regarding short-term rentals, the city continues to operate a complaint hotline and respond to issues. With support from a city-hired legislative advocate, in 2022, the Arizona legislature passed a law that provides authority to local governments to license short-term rentals. The legislative advocate will continue to pursue meaningful regulation of short-term rentals at the state level during the 2023 legislative session. At the end of 2022, the city also purchased 41 acres known as the Cultural Park. Master planning for the future development of this important property will begin in 2023, so watch for more announcements about how to get involved in that process. Other accomplishments included that the City Communications Program continued to find new ways to provide you information with a focus on optimizing the city's website. We began public outreach for the community plan through a citizen work group, a community forum event, and topical listening and learning sessions. We completed the restoration of the outside of the historic barn and house at the future Ranger Station Park. We continued to not allocate money for destination marketing, and the City and Sedona Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau began exploring new approaches to their ongoing contractual relationship. We issued a request for qualifications to conduct an environmental impact study to collect data around OHV use and their impacts on our community. We selected a firm to perform due diligence on the potential implications of acquiring the airport to help determine if this would be a benefit to the community. We initiated the evaluation of possible locations for 8 new pickleball courts at Posse Grounds Park. We also opened a new inclusive playground at Posse Grounds with a flex ground surface and shade structures over the playground and bleachers along the adjacent field. We amended the Soldiers Pass and Western Gateway Community Focus Area plans to remove references to lodging, given the proliferation of short-term rentals in recent years and the need for additional residential units and other land uses instead of more lodging. And we saw the community pass the Home Rule Ballot Initiative in August, giving the City Council the authority to set our local spending limit based on a balanced budget that takes into account current and projected revenues and local needs. Wow, we accomplished a lot in 2022. Stay tuned in the coming weeks to hear about City Council's newly established priorities for 2023, and thanks for watching.